Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Parsha Wine Pairing, Thanksgiving edition, Black Friday edition here at Kosherwine.com. I am Jared, this is David right here. We are sampling another wine for the Parsha of the week.
Thanks Jared for kicking that off, and don't forget you can purchase the wines with the code Parsha7 for a discount of 7%. That's for the week, the wine that we're featuring this week, as well as the wine that we're featuring or letting you know about that we'll be featuring next week. So Jared, why don't you kick this off and tell us about this week's Parsha? What Parsha is this week?
This week's Parsha is Vayetzei, which means to go out. And this Parsha starts off with Jacob leaving Beersheba and to go up to Haran, in part to escape his brother Esau. Esau wants to kill him for stealing the birthright. So the sibling rivalry continues. And also, though, to work for Laban. So he goes up to Beit to spend the night there. Or he goes up to a place to spend the night there and has this awesome dream of Jacob's ladder, which you guys have probably heard about before, of angels coming down to earth and going up to heaven. And so Jacob has this nice dream, and then the next morning wakes up and he calls the place Beit, which means house of God in Hebrew.
And what wine are we drinking this week, Jared?
We are going to have wine from Beit itself, where Jacob had his first dream.
Awesome. That's a perfect pairing. Nice choice, Jared. Without further ado, let's go ahead and pour ourselves some wine to taste. And actually, this week, we have with us our very own marketing director, I guess, Elliot, who's also Yaakov. Ties in nicely with this week's Parsha. Elliot, why don't you come join and say hi to everyone? And
howdy.
We got a glass for you here. This is Elliot / Yaakov. We're all going to be trying the wine here, and Jared and I are going to tell you something about it. We also have Ami here. Ami is from the river. He imports this wine. He was with us last week. If you have any questions about the specific wine as we're tasting it, go ahead, post them in the comment section so Ami can answer your questions. Thank you for joining us again, Ami. All right, here we go.
Amen. Worthy of the name.
Worthy of the name, huh? It's really nice. This is definitely it tastes a bit stronger. There's like more acid.
It's got a tartness to it.
Definitely got a tartness to it. It's actually I like it. I like what's going on here. It's a bigger wine. It's got a lot going on when you taste it. Obviously, nice Israeli wine with that fruit there. What are you guys getting?
Chocolate, a little bit of black cherries,
Definitely
some plums,
cherries. Yep, plums.
A little bit of pepper, and some earth.
I really enjoy how
nice.
soft it is on my tongue, on my palate.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice and easy. You can swirl it around real nice.
Would you make kiddush on a wine like this?
Yeah, the tannins are not that heavy, so it doesn't have that biting grip.
Yeah.
Very nice fruity wine. Beit makes some great wines. This is the Cab. They also have a Carignan, which I think we're out of stock, or we have very few bottles left, but more coming in a couple of weeks.
Great. And then a Majestic.
They're like reserve series,
which was rated as one of Israel's best, I believe. If Ami can maybe confirm that, the Majestic is, I think, one of, I don't know. It has some very, very high reception. Correct? Yeah. And then the Petit Verdot.
Petit Verdot will be released soon. It's not on the market yet.
I've never had that one. I don't think.
Yeah, it's not. It's not here yet. So Elliot, is there anything you can tell us about this week's Parsha? Maybe a marketing angle.
Actually, Beit was so good when Yaakov stayed there. He realized he wanted to start tithing. Wanted to start taking 10% off. So we also have a good Beit, and we decided that we're going to do 10% off on wines today for Black Friday.
Awesome, 10% and 10%. So there's a bunch of wines on sale now for Black Friday. Use the code BlackFriday10. You can get 10% off those wines. Check it out. On our homepage, there's a banner that will link straight to that list of wines. So 10% and 10%. It's a nice connection there, Elliot. Good for being on the spot.
Yeah.
All right, let's give this another swirl and see what else we got going on here. This wine is not Movoshol. It is, it's 14%. Which actually, last week when we had that Zinfandel from Twin Suns,
15.
it's like 15.5.
And in the past, Beit
like
had like a 50. It's been like 15.
It's been higher, right?
Very high number. I think a lot of these.
Yeah, this is a
ones have
2014
been higher.
vintage, 14% alcohol. It feels like it's stronger, and this wine can definitely drink. You know, it's good now. We'll drink well for years to come. It's still got time on it.
And I think Ami was saying that the Petit Verdot is ready to drink come January or February.
Nice. Looking forward to getting that soon. You know, talking about the ladder, Jared, we have an organization in this area, in the DC area. It's located in Rockville, Hebrew Academy, that has a program, part of the school there. They have a program called Sulam.
Sulam.
Sulam
I'm actually, my kippah says.
Yeah, we've all got our Sulam gear.
Yeah. In part for the Parsha because I really am that corny. But yeah.
Well, I wear this sweater a lot. I just try not to wear it.
It's a great organization.
Yeah, I try not to wear it for Parsha wine pairing, but this week was very apropos. So I get to wear my favorite sweater, and shout out to Sulam, and thanks for giving me this gear. I think I've had it for over a year now. Very very worthy organization. Great, they're doing great things in education there. So ties in nicely to this week's Parsha.
Yeah.
Guys, what else are you getting on this wine?
I'm getting a little bit of candy sweetness after it's been on my tongue for a while.
Yeah.
I really like that. And the nose also. I enjoy the nose just as much as tasting it.
Yeah, it's got a nice nose, long finish. These are this definitely falls into the, you know, there's people who prefer like New World fruitier wines versus, let's say, something like Old World earthy,
leathery tobacco.
This is definitely New World.
Definitely New World,
but drinking very nicely. Great value as well. It's you know, it's between $20-$25, somewhere in that range. I know we've had it on sale a few times. Get the word out there and get the brand going.
And again,
nice wine.
another, you know, Yehuda and Shomron like wine. So like, you know, this wine is it helps support the Jewish communities in Judea and Samaria. You know, just, you know, not to get too much into that, but they produce great stuff, and a lot of people look for it. And they do make great stuff, and you know, Beit El obviously is one of the oldest like places in the Bible. You know, we have a lot of history there, so so it's one I like it just like in that respect alone.
Right, and then you know, there's a lot of wines that, you know, if people didn't have a chance to get this wine last week, don't miss out on the opportunity this week. You know, we tell you every week the wine that we'll be pairing next week, so you have a chance to order it. But if you haven't ordered it, maybe there's some other wines that they may have at home that they can pair with this week's Parsha. There's always so much going on. But are there any other wines that you would recommend if you don't have the Beit El at home already?
Sure. I mean,
there's there's Canaan going on.
There's Canaan. There's Lavan, isn't it?
Lavan. Yeah, so there's the covenant Lavan for Lavan, not the
Lavan, who's not really such
we're
a
not
nice
promoting
guy.
him, but
he's a little bit of a jerk, actually.
Right. But don't miss out for next week. The wine that we'll be featuring for next week is a Sagoda Dome, and it's actually, you're lucky because there's a few different options you have. You have the regular Sagoda Dome, which is the non-Mavushal wine, and then you have the Sagoda Dome M series, which is Mavushal. We also have Sagoda Dome in magnum size and in half bottle size. All those wines are on sale, 7% off. Use the code Parsha7. Order them today so you'll have them next week. There's tons of other sales going on, so if you only want to buy a bottle, you still want to get free shipping, fill your cart with some other things going on, and get your case for next week. You'll have it next Shabbos. We'll tie it into the week's Parsha next week, and you'll be able to enjoy the wine and Parsha.
And if you're not sure what else you want, maybe you have till Cyber Monday, you know, which will be coming up. So give yourself a few days if you're not ready yet, you know, and take advantage of those promos we'll also have going on.
Yeah, we'll have promos Cyber Monday as well, but just make sure you get it on time, you know, depending on how far you are and the transit time. Yeah, good stuff. We actually had Jakob Berg here a couple of weeks ago. Jakob Berg from Sagot Winery, and we tried the Adome with him. So, you know, this week we'll be putting out a little video about that. Stay tuned. We have our special video editor Rachel in house, who's going to help us get that to you.
She's smiling right now.
As a matter of fact, Rachel is also mentioned in this week's Parsha. So there's a lot of everybody in this
Rachel,
company
Leah,
has
and then
a
Reuben,
type.
and then we start to get some of the tribes. Reuben is born, and then a few others.
Right,
like,
there's a lot of the tribes are born.
building up,
pretty much all of them.
building up the Jewish people.
All right, Rachel, you want to come say hi and grab a glass and take a sip? Sure. All right. Look at that. It's a big company event. It's coming off of Thanksgiving, where all the families get together. All right. Here you go. Rachel, say hi to everyone.
Hi.
Drink the wine. Tell everybody what you think.
It's good.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. I'm not a wine connoisseur like you guys.
Not yet, and you'll never be with that attitude. You got to say yet.
I'm working on it.
You're working on it.
It tastes like
Like ever?
red.
It tastes like
Tastes
red.
red. It
Tastes
tastes
red.
red. If you like red wine, Rachel is giving it a thumbs up.
Tastes like
for
red.
all.
To me, it tastes like purple.
I
For
do.
all red wine
Red's not my
drinkers.
favorite, and this is good.
All right.
Awesome.
Good enough.
So you see, even if you're not a wine connoisseur, you will enjoy the Beit Cabernet Sauvignon. Thank you, Rachel, for sharing with us. And thank you, Elliot, for joining. Elliot had to run out and get ready, but we really appreciate him stopping in. Live from Kosherwine.com, bidding you a happy Black Friday, a good Shabbos, and see you next week.
All right. Shabbat shalom. L'chaim.
Bye.